Hey there, welcome to the Dr. Nina Show. I'm your host, Dr. Nina Savelle-Rocklin, bringing you experts in all areas of health and wellness who are going to transform your life. Today, I am so excited to have a really special guest, Darnell Cox. She is the founder of LiveYoungLifestyle.com. And she is really, as someone just said, she is an encyclopedia of anti-aging. And I can't wait to talk with her. You're going to love the tips and interesting things that she's going to have to say. So welcome, Darnell.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you here. Now, I heard that you bought your first anti-aging cream when you were 17 years old.
I know, 15.
15?
Yeah, I was working in a grocery store, and I don't know how or why, but from a very young age, I was always interested in skincare and diet and exercise and all of those things that made you look and feel your best. And at 15 years old, I bought my first, I still remember it, it was Estee Lauder. It was like a blue swirly kind of spacey color. And my mother said, "Do you know that that's like $100? And I said, "Yes, I know that, but I've been working." And I saved up like all my money, took away all the Cokes the sodas I would order, and figured out how I would be able to start experimenting with that kind of stuff. So it's from a very young age. I think I came out of the womb in stilettos looking for chapstick and trying to solve the baby cankle issue. So yeah, it's just part of me.
I love that, the baby cankle issue. And you also have a master's in psychology.
I do.
So you're really aware of the psychology behind anti-aging.
Yes.
And as a psychoanalyst, I mean, I thought that was such a wonderful combination of your knowledge, both in food, in skincare, in exercise, and in psychology.
And in psychology, because aging is not just what you look like on the outside. And it's not just how you feel physically on the inside, but it's really what happens to your head when you look at yourself in the mirror and you're not at the aesthetic prime that you used to be. What happens to that person? Mm-hmm. And how does that affect how they go forward in life? And how does that affect their self-esteem? And you know, these days, the magazines are getting more away from the airbrush stuff, but we're living in the Kardashian, Instagram filter kind of world. And so how does that affect somebody my age? I'm 50, I've got 3 kids, and I'm watching millennials tell me how to take care of my skin on YouTube. So it's really just addressing those issues as well, and how do you feel about yourself? I mean, the first time when I did that double take in the mirror, after like a few cocktails the night before or whatever, and you notice the first line on your face and you realize, wow, okay, I'm on a slippery slope downhill as far as my skin, because you stop producing collagen at the age of 25 and you stop producing muscle mass at the age of 30. So I don't mean that in a bad way. That's just the reality and the aging process. And so what I do is I not only work with people's self-esteem and trying to get them to realize that how we look on the outside is it really affects how we feel about ourselves. So anybody who's ever had like a good hair day, or you slide into your skinny jeans just a little bit easier, that day is not a day you're going to then open up a bag of Oreos and put on a onesie and get in front of the TV. I mean, that's not the good hair day or the good skin day. That person wants to get out in the world. And so I think when you strive to, within your age group, look your best that you can for your age, and also be as healthy as you can, eat the right foods, exercise the right way, it changes how you look in the mirror, which changes how you feel about yourself. So it's all very interrelated, and I think that's the psychology education kind of coming out and all of that.
Absolutely. And vanity is not a bad word.
No.
In our culture, it's so many people are saying, oh, well, you just only care about what you look like. But as you say, when you feel good, when you look good, you feel good.
That's right.
But you also have to feel good about yourself. You need, the trifecta. So
right, which is why in my website, LiveYoungLifestyle.com, I have divided my blogs, because I do a weekly blog. I've divided them into 4 categories. So there's look young, there's eat young, there's move young, and there's be young, because it really does, you have to attack the aging process from every angle. And it is, you do have to feel good about yourself, and you do have to feel motivated. There comes a time in your life when you're already able to drive, you're already able to drink, you've already gone to college, you've already had kids, you've been married once or twice or 3 times. And you get to that age where it's like, okay, now what do I have to look forward to? And that's like where the be young, I think, comes in, because you have to create this, this inspiration in your own life. If you just sit there and let your life pass you by, you're going to wake up 90 with not your best skin, not your best health, and you'll be saying, what did I do? What happened to these years? So I'm really adamant about planning things out. I've got a 4-page bucket list. I cross off 2 things every year. I'm always trying to learn something new, and I'm teaching that and showing that to my clients who hire me as an anti-aging consultant. So it's all part of that.
Right. Now you mentioned your bucket list, and I know that it was actually when you were doing a marathon, which was on your bucket list, that you came up with the idea for this.
That's true. That's true. So as I started growing, my kids started getting older. I had this degree, but my kids were older and they didn't need me to hold their hand as much. I have 1 still left in high school, so I have 2 in college and 1 still in high school. But she was, she had her friends and she didn't need me as much. And I'm sitting here training for the marathon, and my friends would call me and say, like, how do I lose, I have to go to this beach thing, how do I lose 5 pounds in the next couple weeks? Or what are you doing with your skincare? So I would literally write everything down. So I was thinking at the time that I was training, my friend had said she needed to lose 5 pounds. She had to get in a bathing suit. She had been cheating a little bit on her diet, the last month. And all of a sudden she got invited to this pool party. And so I was in my head while I'm running, coming up with what I need to type out for her when I got home and print it and give it to her. Because we have a standing Tuesday Neiman's lunch, which it's also part of the Be Young thing. But I've done that enough times to where I was just handing out these pieces of paper, like to my nail lady, like, oh, what are you putting on your skin? Let me write it all down for you, and I'd give it to her. Mm-hmm. And so it was during that training that I thought, well, why am I just not putting this up somewhere? And that was the birth of Live Young Lifestyle. That's how that blog started.
And now everyone can benefit from your knowledge. Now let's get practical.
Okay.
Tell me some specific tips that people can do. I know that I was just on your blog and I saw something about
how long do you want to be here? Because
eyebrows. Well, I can stay all day. My husband's with my daughter, and we can talk.
Well, I'll go through the categories a little bit so you can get an idea, and I'll pull out some of my favorite things in those categories. Mm-hmm. So the look young category, that's all the smoke and mirrors. That's the little bit of Botox that we need to get. That's the exfoliation and the fillers and the Retin-A and little things like that. All the external things. And so for that category, I would say one of the most important tips is prevent it before it happens. Mm-hmm. So sunscreen, that is the #1 product that you can buy. And I even go beyond that. I wrote a blog called Here Comes the Sun. And I also did, one of my YouTube videos is also called Here Comes the Sun. And it has to do with that protection from the sun. The sun is the #1 anti-aging thing out there in the world. So you have to protect yourself from it. So that's one of them. The second is exfoliate. So dry brushing is fantastic. It's something that I do every day.
What is dry brushing? Because some people may not know what that is.
So if you went to my YouTube channel, Live Young Lifestyle, there is a video I did on dry brushing. It tells you what you need to buy. It tells you, I give you a tutorial on how you need to do it, but it stimulates collagen. It sloughs off dead skin cells. It increases circulation. It helps with cellulite. And it gives you a glow. So it's just like as if you were to put on a topical exfoliant, like you had a peel or you had Retin-A. It's like that, but you're manually brushing your skin every day, and you're brushing it to your heart. So it does help a little bit with weight loss from the lymphatic drainage. And it helps to renew your skin, and it helps with circulation. I mean, it's like a cure-all for a lot of things. And my new thing is, and now I'm doing it, I found a face brush. So I'm doing it also on my face. Yeah, so that's
whatever you are doing, Darnell, it is working.
Aw, thank you. But also, like, the other thing with Look Young is it's all about stimulating collagen. We stop making collagen at 25. And so you need to trick your skin into making collagen. And that is done with these little controlled trauma to your skin. So Fraxel laser, microneedling, even Retin-A is creating little micro trauma, and then it stimulates your skin to then start making collagen. It's the same thing as if you fell down and you skinned your knee, and that scab that forms, that is your body saying, let's make some collagen and let's make that scab. Well, if you do a controlled kind of trauma to your face like that with these different products and different little procedures, you're calling out to your skin cells to say, come fix me, come make me new again. And so that's part of it. So that's the Look Young. And then if we talked about like the Eat Young, there's a blog I wrote called Eat Your Way to Better Skin. There are literally foods that you can eat that make your skin shine.
And I want to hear all about that, as I know that everyone else does. Hold that thought.
Okay.
I am here with, this is Dr. Nina Savelle-Rocklin, host of the Dr. Nina Show. I'm here with Darnell Cox, who is an anti-aging extraordinary woman who can make, apparently she's got a fountain of youth somewhere where she lives. And she can tell you what her fountain of youth is too. We'll be back soon.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Odiva TV. And right now we're in the Focus TV studios in Hollywood.
Happy Wednesday, Empoweristas. It's Alex Worley.
Hey guys, I'm Amy Paffrath.
And I'm Justin Walter.
And this is What's Good, the show that's dedicated to positive, uplifting stories from all over the world.
Hi, this is Alyssa Goodman Show, and I am Alyssa Goodman.
You're watching Beige Bay TV. It's fitness expert and your Beige Bay, Edwina Chia.
Hey, Dr. Erin here, teaching universal law and spiritual truth.
Hey everyone, it's Michelle Gillette with Focus TV, and this is the Spotlight Series.
Hey LA, I'm Gwen Lane with the LA Girl.
Hey everybody, Terry here, host of the interview series, Success Beyond Beauty.
Hi, I'm Fern Olivia, and welcome to Central Intelligence TV.
Hi, I'm Janica. I'm here with Focus TV for my segment of Fearless Females.
Hey there, welcome back to the Dr. Nina Show. I'm Dr. Nina Savelle-Rocklin, your host, and I am talking to Darnell Cox. She is the creator of the Live Young lifestyle, and she's going to tell us some tips that are going to help us stay younger and enjoy our lives more.
Be healthier.
Be healthier.
Younger from the inside out and the outside in.
And that starts with food.
It does. I mean, you can literally eat your way to better skin. So I did write a blog called Eat Your Way to Better Skin, and I list like my top 10 foods that I think are really good for your skin. So you really need vitamins A, E, fish oils, and D. That's what makes like really glowing skin. So all your fatty fish, raw almonds are great, cantaloupe, things like that you want to add to your diet. And I also have this theory about weight loss. Like there's a lot of women when you get to a certain age and we start, with hormonal changes, we start packing on a little bit of weight, which I don't think is a bad thing because there's such a thing as being too skinny. And I used to be about 5 pounds skinnier than I am now. But when you get to a certain age, your skin does not look the same unless you have just a tiny layer of fat. It starts getting a little crepey. You don't want to be frail, especially when you get older. So just just a regular, like a genetic point of view, there is a reason for that. And if you fight that too much, I mean, you want to eat healthy. You want to eat for your skin, you want to eat for your health. But if you fight that too much and you're too skinny, you're going to end up looking older and not being as healthy. So there is a balance to that. But there are different foods that you can eat that boost your metabolism. I probably drink 3 cups of green tea a day. I eat all the spicy food I can eat, chili peppers, things like that. And then it's the trick of adding stuff to your diet. Instead of subtracting it and feeling like you're deprived of stuff. If you want that ice cream, eat the ice cream. But have stuff before. So I always make sure I have raw almonds every day. I have an apple. There's certain things that I have to get in to eat, which leaves a lot less room for the bag of Doritos. So it kind of, you just fill your plate with what you should be eating and save the rest of it for after. And don't ever deny yourself. But
that's absolutely in line with my philosophy as, a psychoanalyst that helps people lose weight without dieting, because the anticipation of deprivation just makes you want something more.
Right.
And the more that you have healthy food and you're nourishing and nurturing your body instead of being at war with it.
Right.
Oh, I can't have that, I want it. I can't have that, I want it.
And the second you say you can't have it, you want it more.
And the more that you're able to just tune in to what your body wants.
Right.
Like, totally great example, at Halloween last year, my daughter said she was hungry, and she has this bag like this of candy. and my husband said, well, have some candy. And she goes, oh, I don't want candy, I want real food.
Yeah.
And this was a proud moment for me.
Right, I'm sure.
Because she's a living example, and this is what you teach people, that when you listen to your body and you're more intuitive with what you're eating, you know what you need. And candy doesn't, or Doritos, they don't sound so palatable when you're being healthy.
Right. I also think that people reward themselves for bad behavior. So, for example, there's a lot of people that come home from work and they're like, I had a really bad day. I'm going to have a glass of wine, or I'm just going to sit here and eat this ice cream. It's such a bad day. Well, I think if every day when you came home and you said, I had a bad day or a really stressful day at work or a stressful day with the kids, and you said, I'm going to eat 3 stalks of plain celery, you'd find that you'd have far fewer bad days if that was how you rewarded yourself, instead of with the junk food or the chips or the ice cream. Like, if you changed that reward system, I really feel that you're almost looking for a bad situation to happen so that you can behave badly. Yeah. So I think really keeping yourself in check is, why am I doing this right now? Am I really having a bad day, or do I really just want that other glass of wine?
Yep, that's a good point. Or if you really have had a bad day, I say to people, look, what if your friend had a bad day? Would you say, here, have some wine and Doritos?
Yes, exactly.
This will totally help. And they're like, oh no, I would never say that. What would you say? I'd say,
that's what we do that to ourselves.
Yeah. So we have to start treating ourselves the way we treat other people.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Right.
So give us some more tips. I just saw something about eyebrows. How important eyebrows are.
So So, gone are the McDonald arched eyebrows that we used to have. I mean, eyebrows go through different phases and trends over the years. But when you get older, you don't want sparse eyebrows. You don't want the high arched eyebrows. It makes us look scary. So we want to bring those eyebrows back down. And I always say, look at a picture of yourself when you were 10. For me, that was a very awkward stage, but still, look at a picture when you were 10 and look at how your eyebrows were before you started plucking the hell out of them. That's what the goal is. So that's the goal. And the worst trend that I see now is this microblading. And the reason is because people are going to people that are not properly trained. They're using actually like a scalpel to cut the skin, put the pigment in there, and it's creating irreversible scarring, and you'll have hair loss. So sometimes you end up with a worse result trying to do something that's trendy instead of finding somebody, a professional that does a micro, semi-permanent pigmentation. And I just did a blog on that because I saw so many Instagram photos of eyebrows gone wrong. And these young women, these young, beautiful millennial women were, because it's the trend, doing this permanent microblading on their eyebrows, and the color fades, so they end up with like a grayish, outline to them eventually. It's really not a good thing. So anytime that anybody says this is going to be permanent, run. And I always look at before and afters. I always want to see what kind of training they had. But that was one of the videos that I did, and that was that's a way that you can really add a youthfulness to your face, is by getting back to a more natural look. Not as groomed. So you want to bring them back down a little bit, like they were in our youth.
Put down the tweezers. Stay away from the tweezers. Put
down the tweezers. And I also I've said, give your eyebrows a 3 months hiatus from the tweezers, if you can. Don't look in a magnifying mirror because you will be shocked, but just to see what we have going on there before we start tweezing them, because sometimes, you know, you tweeze and they don't grow back. So
You also, of course, many people go for Botox, or they go to the doctor, or they go and they have to go to a physician to get some kind of treatment. But you have a lot of videos about at-home treatments.
I do.
What is your number one pick for at-home treatment?
Oh my God.
You're on the spot now.
Well, I would say microneedling. So, I mean, I love dry brushing. I think that that's a daily thing, but I also microneedle weekly. It's again creating those little traumas. And I have the Nurse Jamie Beauty stamp for around the eyes, and it's literally a stamp that has little needles, and you stamp around your eyes. And I have the roller for the rest of my face, arms, legs, stomach, any place where you think you need a little collagen stimulation. And that's something that I do every Sunday. So I've gone through my weekend, wash my face at night. I do the rolling thing, and then so you've kind of, you know, in case you had a big event that weekend, you don't have like a little nick or a little whatever, and your skin looks beautiful because you're constantly stimulating that collagen. So it's one of those little things, like, again, as we get older, our bodies change, our skins change, and that brings me like to the next point, the move young category. We lose muscle mass at the age of 30. And muscle is our friend. We're never going to be these giant bodybuilding women unless we're taking steroids for it. So a lot of people are afraid to lift weights, but we have to build muscle mass. And that also helps with metabolism. So if you went and walked on a treadmill or ran on a treadmill for 15 minutes and then went home and ate a bagel, you're putting all those calories back in you. You basically have done a lot for your heart and lungs, but not a lot for like your strength and the shape of your body. So if you really want to change your body and you really want to boost your metabolism, you need to do resistance training. So when you lift weights as compared to running on a treadmill or out walking, you create tiny tears in your muscle fiber. And instead of it, you know, your metabolism being boosted for the hour or two after you run, it takes days to rebuild muscle fiber. So it takes calories to then build that muscle. So muscles become calorie burning machines. And if we're losing muscle at the age of 30, you need to add, that needs to be your main focus of exercising, is some sort of resistance training. That to me, and stretching, because you also lose flexibility. So if you lose muscle mass, you lose flexibility, you're creating opportunity for injury in the future. So there was a time when I was skiing with my kids and I fell down a hill, and one of my skis was up above my head, and I just continued to slide. And my kids were like, ran to me, "Are you okay, Mom? Are you okay?" And if I was not that flexible, I would have broken something. And that's just like one incidence of, you know, how flexibility and strength helps you as you get older. So that's also a very important thing, and it changes. We shouldn't exercise the same as a 20-year-old.
Right. Darnell, you are indeed an encyclopedia of anti-aging. I could sit here and talk with you for a week. Thank you so much. Please tell everybody where they can find you.
So if you go to liveyounglifestyle.com, that's where my blog is. There's also healthy recipes. And most of my YouTube videos are up there, but that's also a way you can contact me. So if you want like personal consultation, just click on that little email, and I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has. And as well, my YouTube channel is Live Young Lifestyle.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And that's our show for today. I have been talking with the amazing Darnell Cox, founder of liveyounglifestyle.com. Thanks for joining us.